Pennsylvania is making a huge play. They're rolling out an ambitious 10-year plan designed to put the state right at the center of the next economic revolution. We're talking about a major strategic move to harness the biggest forces shaping our future. So we're going to dive in and see what this is all about. All right, so first things first. To really get why this plan is such a big deal, you kind of have to zoom out and look at the big picture. Because right now, the entire global economy, well, it's at this crazy, powerful turning point. And I'm not just talking about some small tweak or a minor market shift here. No, what we're looking at is what's being called a once-in-a-generation opportunity. It's a moment defined by this perfect storm of huge technological and economic forces all coming together at once. And what are those forces? Well, think of them as the three big engines of this new economy. You've got this global energy transformation happening, then an unbelievable explosion in data centers needed for, well, everything, and, of course, the rapid, almost explosive rise of AI. The key thing here is that these aren't happening in isolation. They're all feeding into each other, creating this powerful loop that's literally reshaping our world. Okay, so you have this massive global shift happening. The big question is, what's Pennsylvania's move? How are they going to play this? Well, that's exactly where this new strategic plan comes in. It's their direct answer to what's going on. They're calling it the 2025 Pennsylvania Roadmap. And look, this isn't just some dusty policy document from the government. It's a coordinated framework put together by the nonpartisan group Team Pennsylvania. The whole idea is to get all these different industries pulling in the same direction with one big goal: making Pennsylvania a leader in this new economy. And it's got buy-in from the very top. Governor Josh Shapiro is framing it as a way to double down on what the state already does well. And the goals, they're really clear. It's about using AI, but not just for cool tech's sake. It's about growing the economy, giving workers more power, and actually making people's lives better. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What's this roadmap actually trying to do? Well, it's all broken down into 6 main strategic goals. You know, what's really cool about this plan is how it connects all the dots. It's not just focused on one thing. We're talking about using AI to make the power grid smarter, taking those genius ideas from universities and startups and actually turning them into real businesses. And this part is huge, making sure the growth isn't just stuck in the big cities. They want to create these innovation corridors to spread the wealth, you know? It's the whole package. And if you want a number that just shows you how ambitious this thing is, get this. One of their main goals is to bring 10 to 12 terawatts of new scalable energy online. To put that in perspective, that is a ton of power, and it's absolutely essential if you're going to fuel all those new data centers and AI technologies we were just talking about. And here's the kicker. This isn't just some pie-in-the-sky plan for 10 years down the road. Nope. It lays out concrete actions that are going to happen in the next 2 years. It's basically them putting up a giant neon sign for the rest of the world that says, hey, invest in Pennsylvania. We're open for business right now. So a plan this big, you obviously can't do it alone, right? It takes a real team effort. And that's exactly how this whole thing was put together. The real strength here is who they brought to the table. This wasn't cooked up in some back room. They got leaders from basically every important sector: energy, tech, universities, finance, labor, you name it. So this isn't some mandate from on high. It's a strategy built from the ground up, with everyone's input. From the government side, you hear people like Senator Dave McCormick talking about how this is all about creating good jobs and making the state the #1 spot to invest for the future. It's all about keeping the momentum going. And then you've got the universities, which are a huge piece of the puzzle. The president of Carnegie Mellon, we're talking a world-class university here. He nails it when he says success comes from building these really strong partnerships between the schools, the government, and private industry. I mean, all this innovation has to start somewhere, right? And it looks like Pennsylvania's universities are ready to go. I love this next part because it really brings it back down to earth. You've got Ron Court, a CEO in manufacturing, and he basically says, look, the tech is great, but what really sets Pennsylvania apart is the people. You know, the folks who are ready to roll up their sleeves and actually build all this stuff. And that brings us to the vital labor perspective. The message here is simple and powerful. The state has a highly skilled workforce that is ready to make this vision a reality. The people who will actually build this future, they're trained, they're ready, they're good to go. Okay, so you've got the plan, you've got the tech, you've got the team all lined up. But so what? what does this actually mean for regular people, for communities all across Pennsylvania? Well, this is the payoff right here. The whole point is to build a stronger economy, one where the good fortune isn't just stuck in a few places, but is shared by everyone. It's about creating careers that can actually support a family. It's about closing that gap between rural towns and big cities. That's why this whole thing matters. And Abby Smith, the CEO of Team Pennsylvania, she just sums it up perfectly. She says this isn't just about tech. It's about having a shared game plan for the state's economic future, one that builds stronger communities and better systems for every single person. So there you have it. Pennsylvania has laid out its roadmap. It's ambitious, it's collaborative. They've got the resources, they've got the people, they've got the vision. All the pieces seem to be on the board. So the big question is, will they pull it off? Will this roadmap really lead the nation into the future?